is time to play the game for February. Let's see what's going to happen this month. Hi, my name is Jeanette, and I want to thank you for joining me on the channel Jane Reads. So I am going to play my Bonkers TBR game for the month of February, and let's see how many books I end up with this month and what books they will be. But before we get into that, so last month I had 5 rolls to get through the whole game. My first spot on the board, I landed on a 5+ word title. I chose The Cross-Examination of Jesus Christ by Randy Singer. I am still reading this, but I only have 3 chapters left, 2 chapters left, 2 chapters left. So I will definitely read this before the end of the month. So that will be complete. Then my next prompt gave me male author. And for that, I chose Jimmy by Robert Whitlow. I have read that. Then I landed on the loose spot, which meant I had to read a John Grisham book. So I chose The Testament by John Grisham, and I have read that. Then I got Random Letter Generator for the title. So I spun my wheel for a random letter, and I got Y. So for that, I read Yours Truly Thomas by Rachel Fordham. Hint, I absolutely love this one. Or I guess not hint, sneak peek. I will be talking about all these books in my January wrap-up, which will come February 5th. But yes, so there was that one. And then my end spot, which is my TBR bingo board. So I spun the wheel, and it gave me All Right Here by Carre Armstrong Gardner. And I have read this one, and I have done a reading vlog on it. So I will link that in the description below. So those are the 5 books I got. And they're pretty much complete other than the last 2 chapters of the first book. But it's a non-fiction book, so I'm slowly working my way through it. But it will be done before the end of the month. So the board was pretty, or the dice, I guess, really, was pretty nice to me because I got high numbers most of the way, so I only had 5 books to read. What's going to happen this month? I don't know. But there are a few books that I would like to get on this, like on my TBR for this month. And those are books for my reading challenge, which for February is to reread, like to, how did I word it? To reread an old favorite, a past favorite. Okay, so I'd like to get one of those books on my list. For Katie's Around the World-a-thon, it is a mode of transportation on the cover. And I don't have a book picked up for that yet, so we'll see what happens. Then for Chantel's Read Your Bookshelf Challenge, I am taking the Doyle path currently, so I need to read a book that's under 250 pages. I don't have very many of those books, so I don't have one picked out, but we'll see what happens there. And then there is also a readathon going on for the month of February that is being hosted by Tales and Treats with Tay, and then Katie at Paperbacks and Ponytails, Celestria, The Writing Songbird, Cat Stories, and Krista A. Cole. And it is once upon a February, so I will link Taylor's announcement video in the description below, so you can go to that and you can get the printouts. I just did in black and white because my printer is running out of colored ink, and I've just shrunk them so that they'll fit in my reading journal. However, I don't read a lot of fairy tale retellings, so I'm not really sure what exactly I'm going to read for those. I do have one book on my shelf that would consider a fairy tale retelling, and that is Fairest of Heart by Karen Witemeyer. So hopefully I can get that one on my TBR. We will see what happens. So let's go to the board. I will get it all set up, and then we will roll, and I'll be back for my first book. Okay, roll number 1. 9, 10, 11. That's how I started up the last game. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. A contemporary romance. I should say that I will link my January TBR of me introducing the game and kind of going over all the rules for the game and kind of the prompt cards. So I will link that in the description below because I'm not going to go over that this time. I've just gone right into playing. So I got an 11 for my first roll, which is what I got a lot of in the last game. So let's see how that trend continues. But my first prompt is a contemporary romance. Can you read that? I don't know. What contemporary romance do I want to read? So I gave it some thought, and I am going to choose Turn to Me by Becky Wade. This is a contemporary romance, and it is book number 3 of the Misty River series, and it is the only book I have left to complete that series, so that is the one I'm going to read. I know that we are following Luke, who is one of the Miracle 5, and I think the female is Finley, if I remember correct, but I have not really read much about this. I just know that Luke has just been released from jail, has returned to Misty River, and is trying to reestablish his life, I think. And that's about all I know about it. But I've had some friends who really adore this series and have enjoyed it, so I'm hoping that I will enjoy it as well. Okay, so let's go for... I always want to say spin. Let's go for the next roll, roll number 2. Okay, roll number 2. 8, 9, 10, 11. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Oh, I get to go forward 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The or of in the title. The next prompt I got was the or of in the title. So this one should be fairly simple to me because a lot of titles have especially the in the title. However, I have chosen to go with word of. Fairest of Heart by Carre and Witemeyer, which is the book I mentioned, is a fairy tale retelling that I want to read to be able to participate in the Once a February readathon that's going on. Now, I don't know what prompt this will actually fit for it. It's not a short book. Is Snow White? I think it's Snow White. Yes. I don't know. There's like, well, red on the cover. There's a little bit on her dress. A gender flipped retelling. Penelope becomes a personal maid. No, that's not a gender flip. Well, there will be a male main character, I'm sure of it, right? Is there a notorious villain? I don't know. I hope so. Would I be considered the last to read this book? I don't know. Have you read this book? Will that make me the last to read the book? I don't know. So this is the one I'm going to read, and hopefully I can get at least a couple prompts on the... I was going to say bingo board they're doing, but it's not a bingo board because there's only... It's not exactly, but yeah. Anyways, this is the one I'm going to read. It is a historical romance, and it says, Once Upon a Time in Texas. I love books set in Texas, so that's all I'm going to read. But yeah. Okay, let's go for roll number 3. Okay, roll number 3. Oh, my bus is driving backwards. Let's correct that. 7, 8, 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. A number in the title. The next move, I got the prompt, a number in the title. And I actually don't have that many books that have a number in the title. I thought I had more. I have a couple others, but I read them last year. So, okay. So, the first one I found was 1984 by George Orwell. This is a classic that's on my TBR bingo board to read this year, so maybe I should choose that one. Then I have Fahrenheit 451 by Ray Bradbury. It's also a classic. It's not on my bingo board though, so it doesn't mean it has to be read this year. It should be, but it doesn't mean it has to be. And then the last book, The Two of Us by Victoria Bylin. This is a reread for me, or will be a reread for me. It is on my rereads bingo board, and it is a past favorite. So I'm going to go with this one for my reading challenge. It is set in Vegas primarily. These two people that don't know each other go to Vegas to try to stop kind of a mutual friend's wedding. One's a friend of the bride, one's a friend of the groom. They end up meeting and a romance develops. And I really enjoyed reading this the first time, so I would like to read it again. So let's roll again and see what happens. Okay, so we're on roll number 4. 9, 13. I need to go to lose. I landed on go to lose. So I had to go back to the lose spot, which means I need to read a John Grisham book. So I have 3 John Grisham books left on my bingo board to read. That is The Associate, The Summons, and The Runaway Jury. Which one do I want to read? So 373 pages, 433 pages, 548 pages. Well, that makes me automatically want to lean for the shorter one of the 3. However, The Runaway Jury is one that I really remember. But as I said in my rereads video, do I remember it because of the movie or do I remember it because of the book? Oh, I don't know. Okay, set in Mississippi, set in Manhattan. I don't know. Doesn't say on the back. I think I'm gonna go for The Runaway Jury. It's kind of the one that's like pulling me in. It is the thickest one of them though, isn't it? Didn't I say it was the longest one of them? Yes, I did. Yeah. And February's the shortest month. Maybe I should go for the shortest one because it's the shortest month. Eeny, meeny, miny, moe. Eeny, meeny, miny, moe. My mom told me to pick this one. I don't know. Okay. I'm going to go with The Summons because it's the shortest one of the 3 for the shortest month of the year. Why not? Okay, let's go for another roll and see what happens. So we're back at the lose spot, so now we got to go forward again. Oops. And we got a 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Are you kidding me? Back 15. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. A 3-word title. Oh, sorry, you couldn't even see. I landed here and it was back 15. I'm sorry, I didn't realize. The prompt I got was a 3-word title, and I've decided to go with Bound by Duty by Valerie Hansen because it is a short book that's under 250 pages, so that will fit Chantel's read yourself bookshelf. Wow. What's that challenge called? Read your bookshelves. What's it actually called? Read your bookshelf challenge. Wow. Tongue twister there. And it also has a plane on the cover. So for Katie's Read Around the World challenge, it is a mode of transport on the cover. And there's a plane. That's a mode of transport. And it is a romance. So it will also fit into Oshina's, one of the prompts on Oshina's challenge. So at least I hope it will. So perfect. Kind of hit everything at once, right? Okay, I don't know much about this. Assignment: Single Mom Surveillance. The Military Canine Unit series continues. Oh. It is a series, which I have not read any of. Hopefully I can read it as a standalone. Hopefully I won't be too lost. I mean, I'm sure, I think they're meant to be read kind of as standalones, even though. Now that I've even behind the loose spot from last time, we will try again and see what happens. Okay, we're back for roll number 6, I think. 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, so I landed on a spot where I've already taken the prompt, so I'll just take the top one off here. And we are getting a new to me author. I got a new to me author. It's not focusing, but I did. And so I pulled out 2 options. I've got The Captain's Daughter by Jennifer Delamere, which is historical fiction, and this is one of the series that I would like to complete this year, but I've never read this author. I basically was intrigued, mainly because of the cover. I mean, it's got Big Ben on it. So it is set in England. I'm assuming London. Yes, I mean, the series is called London Beginnings. Oh, I wondered there for a second if it was actually book 1. Then the other book I've chosen is Rules of Murder by Julianna Deering. Again, I've never read this author. It is book 1 of a series. Now this is book 1 of a 3-book series. This is book 1 of a 5-book series. And it is also set in England. It is also historical, but this is more of a mystery base. We're following a detective from the 1930s, I want to say. Yes. So, and I don't know what time period. Oh, 1879. So we're going before the 1900s and early 1900s. Book 1 of 3, book 1 of 5. But they are both on my TBR bingo board for this year. So they're both planned to get read at some point throughout the year. Which one do I want to read now? When I look at what else I have on my list so far, I do have a historical romance, but it's set in Texas. I don't have anything set in England. I do have a mystery, but again, it's a contemporary mystery. I do have a romance, but I don't know how much romance will be in this one. Do I go on the length of book again? Because we're at the shortest month. 328. This one just feels thicker. Oh, they're 10 pages different, but this one just feels that much thicker. But this is the one that I'm like drawn to by the cover. So 10 pages doesn't really make much of a difference, right? So let's go with this one in hopes that I can finish this series off fairly quickly because it is a shorter series. So The Captain's Daughter by Jennifer Delamere is going to be the one that I'm going to read for a new to me author. Okay, let's go back to the board and see if I can make it to the end. Okay, we're back. Let's move this up as we get closer to the end. Now, hopefully we can avoid this guy. 9 and 3 is 12. I thought for a second we were going to land on the lose again. Oh. So I got BFF Picks Historical. She's gonna love this. She gets a pick in February, which is her birthday month. Like, how kind of the board to let her pick for me. So the only requirement she has is it needs to be a historical book and something that I can get my hands on. Preferably a book I own, either physically or on my Kindle. So the book she chose for me was, I have no idea. So you'll find out my thoughts later on. Okay, can I make it to the end now? Okay, we're back. Hopefully this will be the last roll. It's a 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 2 spots from the end. Oh my. So for a book over 400 pages, I was like, I don't know how many books are on my shelf that are 400 pages. So I pulled up my Goodreads and sorted by pages. And there was more than I thought, actually. But I was surprised to see Authentically Izzy is over 400 pages. It is 409 pages. And it should be a fairly simple read because it's all told in letters and stuff. Like, it doesn't look too bad. But like, some of the pages aren't completely full, right? So hopefully, and I know a couple people absolutely love this book. And my best friend Christine has read it and really enjoyed it. And I've been leery of it because I heard that it's got a lot of the Lord of the Rings references in it, and I've never seen it. I don't know anything about Lord of the Rings. So, but I love letters. And the other books that were over 400 pages were mainly historical books. And I already have 2 historical books. Plus, my BFF is picking a historical for me. So let's go with something contemporary and hopefully a little bit lighter of a read. So this will be the book for over 400 pages. Okay, this will definitely be the last roll because I cannot get a 1 on my dice. So just to make it official, I'm gonna roll. And it's a 10, brings me to a 2, which is the end spot. Okay, so we are at the end spot, which means I need to spin my wheel for a book on my TBR bingo board. Now, I have chosen a couple books already on my TBR, so let's see what happens, whether I'm adding a book or can just use a book that's already for one of the prompts. Or is that cheating? Do I have to add another book? We'll see what I decide to do. Okay, let's spin. Okay, I should have chosen this book before. Rules of Murder by Julianna Deering. I should have just chosen it for my new author, shouldn't I? Oh well. Okay, so let's recap here. So I have 8 books. 8 books on my TBR. See? So my first time playing was the nice time to me. Okay. Hopefully I'm recapping these in the right order. If not, oops. Okay, so my first prompt was a contemporary romance. For that one, I chose Turn to Me by Becky Wade. My next one was The or Of in the Title. For that one, I chose Fairest of Heart by Karen Witemeyer. Then I got Number in the Title. For that one, I chose The Two of Us by Victoria Bylin. Then I landed on the lose spot, so I picked The Summons by John Grisham. Then I got a 3-word title, and I chose Bound by Duty by Valerie Hansen. Then I got a new to me author. For that one, I chose The Captain's Daughter by Jennifer Delamere. Then I landed on the BFF Picks Historical. So for that one, Christine has chosen. Then I got a book over 400 pages. For that one, I've chosen Authentically Izzy by Pepper Basham. And then for the end spot, my TBR wheel for the bingo board, chose Rules of Murder by Julianna Deering. Did I say 8 books? Now I'm wondering. Okay. I couldn't hold them because of the small ones being in the way. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, plus the book on my Kindle. So that's 9 books. Because 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. The book on my Kindle, plus the book that Christine's choosing for me, which I don't know what it is. That is 9 books for the shortest month of the year. It's a good thing I have that one extra day that February doesn't normally get, right? That's going to be so helpful. But for my own reading challenge, so the one that I will do a reading vlog on, at least I hope to do a reading vlog on, will be The Two of Us by Victoria Bylin, because this is a past fave. And we'll see what else I can get in that reading vlog. We'll see what happens. But, okay. I have a lot of reading to do. And I'm really starting 3 series. Lovely. But I will be finishing one. Please let me know what you are planning on reading in the month of February, and are you planning to take part in any of the readathons that are going on, or any of the reading challenges throughout the year. I'd love to chat in the comments below. Thank you for taking the time to watch this video today, and I hope you have a great day. Bye.